Hey there, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is in the world you're watching. Glad that you're here for another conversation on the couch. Good evening, Miss Maxwell. Good to see you. Najma, good to see you. Thanks for being here. We're gonna have a good conversation tonight. We're gonna be talking about relationship risk and the benefits of relationship risk and assessing relationship risk. So while you're checking in, Sarah Weaver, good to see you. Bad Biorio, good to see you. Let me see who else is here checking in tonight. Good to see everybody across all the platforms joining in. So we're gonna be talking about relationship risk, and I'm your host, B.A. Shepherd. And let's get started. Let's talk about this. Oh, wait, before we do, Saul, what's happening? Good to see you. 0995. Glad that you are here. So last night we were talking, and I was challenging you to take a first step, right? What's a first step that you could take in your life because you have a vision, you have a dream, you have a goal, you have something that you're thinking about. I am my dreams coming true. Glad that you're here. Pluto, good to see you. DTDR, good to see you. So what is that first step that you took today? Did you take a first step towards that goal, right? You've had something in your mind. It seems a little bit challenging. It may even seem overwhelming. You recognize that from where you are right now to ultimately realizing your dream, there is space in between it, right? You know you're not right on the verge of having that thing happen. So you might be at the beginning, right? You might be at the start of a wellness journey, the start of a new relationship. You might be looking for a new job or getting ready to launch a business or whatever it may be. You're at the start. So my question to you is, what did you do today? What was the thing? Plans for life, good to see you. What was the thing that you did today? What action did you intentionally take to get you there? I've been sharing with you. I'm on a pathway to become the healthiest version of myself that I've ever been. I want to be in the best shape of my life. And that even though I was a collegiate athlete and trained at a high level, I now at this point in my life want to be in the best shape of my life. So I'm moving towards that. What did I do today? Oh, I got up and I went for a walk today. I've been planning out my meals, strategizing my meals, taking care of that, executing on my meals, not eating the junk food. So I did some things. I took some steps today. I drank more water today on purpose. What did you do today? Right? Like, and if you haven't done anything, then you still have time to get it going. At a new job, being friendly and encouraging other employees. There we go. Research on more natural herbs for the skin. Very good, right? So we're doing that, right? We're taking action. This stuff is not going to just happen because we're thinking about it. And if we only think about it from day to day to day to day, nothing's happening. We're just going to sit there and think ourselves into the same spot that we're in. And so our relationship with ourselves, with our hopes, with our dreams, with our aspirations, our relationship says, I need to do something about this. I need to take action. And so that's the challenge. Miss Maxwell said, I went for a walk, did a dance workout on YouTube, finishing a half gallon of water. Fantastic. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear that we are actually taking action. Because if you take action, repeat it, and you repeat it, and you repeat it, you're going to be moving forward. At the end of this 7-day period, you are going to create some momentum that's moving you closer to your desired outcome. We talked about that last night, how we are all disciplined. Everybody has discipline. Sometimes we are just disciplined towards the undesirable outcome and actions. We are disciplined towards undesirable actions that produce undesirable outcomes. And we're so good at it, repeating it over and over and over again, then we get this negative outcome. And then we're looking at our life and then we say things like, I'm out of shape. Oh, I'm so unhealthy. Oh, my relationship is just really unhealthy. I'm really struggling, in this area or that area. I've been making poor choices, right? So those are because we've been directing our actions in an undesirable way. Now we're getting those outcomes. And this is all about making a shift, right? We're just taking the discipline and saying, instead of pointing it towards the undesirable outcome and actions, I'm pointing it toward the way. So that's where we're at. Joy Brooks says, I ate smaller meals. Fantastic. making a decision. See, sometimes, especially like if you're looking to transform your body, people, we see all these commercials, do this, do that, eat this, you need more carbs, eat less carbs, you need to take this supplement. Sometimes one of the most simple things you can do on your journey to transform your body, don't even start off trying to change your whole diet and everything that you eat. That's too much. That might be too much for you in the beginning. So what can you do? Well, what you do is you say, instead of eating 4 slices of pizza, I'm going to eat 3. I shared with you how the woman that I worked with, she would drink 6 Pepsis a day. And when we started off, when we're training, I said, okay, so here's what we're going to do. Can you, instead of drinking 6 Pepsis, drink 5? She said, yeah, I can do that. I said, deal. Great. Action. Moving in the right direction. And now with that, as we're moving in the right direction, there are some things that are going to happen. Okay, I want to show you something. Hopefully it stays together. All right, let me show you what I have here. And you might be saying, Brian, what in the world are you growing in a Tupperware container? All right, well, what this is, these are carrot tops. And probably, I guess 3 weeks ago now, I was juicing my carrots, right? Because I got a juicer for my birthday, so I was happy about that. So I started going to the store, buying carrots, and what I would do is I was like, okay, since I'm juicing these carrots, I want to see if I can regrow carrots. And so I cut them off. I cut the carrots off and I juiced most of them, but I kept the tops. Okay. And so they looked, when I first initially put them in there, they looked, like this, right? Just a carrot. That's, a carrot top. Okay. But I put them all in here and in this water. And then after a while, because I was doing some research and you can regrow carrots. And I was like, all right, I want to try this. I started to see some sprouts, right? They started to grow up a little bit and I started to see a little green. And so I'm like, all right, this is cool. And so I'm letting these carrots stay in the water every night and, every day. And they're just sitting there and they're starting to grow. And these sprouts, they start springing up, right? They start going through this process of regrowing. And I got excited because I'm like, oh, this is really happening. And so as they're growing, I'm watching. And so now we've got to a point, this one's pretty impressive, right? But if you look closely, let me see if I can bring it close. Can you see that? That little white part right there that you see some roots are starting to come out? Okay. There are some roots starting to happen. And right now I still have this in a bowl. Now, what does this have to do with relationships? Hang with me here. See, sometimes in your relationship, you start to grow. You've been in an environment that you weren't, at the beginning, you were in the environment and it was okay, right? The things weren't really activated for you. You were just kind of there. You're soaking up the what's in that environment and it's okay. But after a while, when you start to grow a little bit and you get a little sprout start to happen, you're like, okay, this is working for me. This environment works. It's actually producing life. I'm starting to see a little sprout. And then after a while, it gets a little bigger, right? This one's a little bit bigger. And this one's starting to get some roots like coming out. But ultimately, you get to this place where you have a lot of roots starting to branch out, right? And then your relationship has to change. Because here's the deal. If I leave these carrot tops that are starting to have roots in this bowl like this as it is, if they stay in this container as it is right now, what's going to happen is the growth that has been happening is going to be stunted. The growth that has been happening, it is going to be cut off because this environment can no longer produce enough for this thing to continue growing. And sometimes in our relationships, we could start off and things are good. And I'm telling you this because I know we're at a starting spot. You're starting off and you're thinking things are fantastic. All right, I'm on a weight loss journey. Things are fantastic. And this is one of the conversations I have a lot of times when people are losing weight. Right? They want to drop their body fat, right? And they say, okay, so here I am. I'm in this situation and I'm starting to lose weight. And forgive me if this doesn't apply to you, but you take the concept, right? So someone says, all right, I'm starting to lose weight. And what happens is the people around them, they start to celebrate. Oh, girl, good for you. You're going to lose a couple pounds. Good. You actually had picked up a few pounds. You were a little heavier. You needed to lose some weight anyway, right? People want to talk crap about you anyway, right? But anyway, so you're going on this journey and people are happy for you. They're celebrating your journey. And that's great. But what I found a lot of times on the journey, When you start, people can celebrate you. But when you start to produce a little bit of life, and sometimes when you start to sprout, and sometimes when your roots start to grow and they're starting to show and you're starting to see results, then there are people that can be in your life that were once cheering for you, that then they're looking at you different. Now, an environment that was once for you, that was once supporting you, no longer has the capacity to do so. Sometimes, and I'm just telling you this as you're going on your journey, as you are moving towards your dreams and your aspirations and your goals, sometimes the people that were once for you, and this is not every situation, but sometimes the people that were once for you, they run out of nutrients to be able to feed you. They run out of the encouragement to be able to boost you up because they're looking at you growing and they say, oh, shucks, you look like this. But here I am, I still look like this. But wait, we're in the same spot. We've been in the same environment, but you're getting all these results and I'm still looking like I'm stuck here because now they're looking at your timing and they say your timing looks like, things are accelerating for you, but I'm looking like I'm still stuck. And maybe they don't have enough to encourage you. Why is this important? It's important because when you look at your dreams, your aspirations, your hopes, what you want out of your life, you get to this point where you have to realize now you have to take another risk. So you took a risk in the beginning when you started. You were like, what if it doesn't work? But then you convince yourself to say, what if it does? I'm going to at least try. I'm going to start. And so you start moving. Right? That was a risk. You took a risk. Can I go from standing still to taking action? Okay, I took action. I'm taking this risk. I take action. And now that I'm starting to grow, now I'm faced with another situation. And what's the situation? Now I realize that the environment that I had been in all this time, while it was good, while I was growing, now I need to take a risk and actually leave this environment so that I can be placed in a different kind of environment that has different kind of nutrients so that I can grow in a different kind of way. If I take these carrot tops and I leave them in here, guess what's not going to grow? The rest of the carrot. There's not enough space. There's not enough depth in this situation as presently constructed for the carrot to start growing down. So we're going to have a problem. It's going to die. The carrot's going to die because it wasn't in the right environment. So why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because in the beginning, while you are starting, while you are taking action right now, please understand where you are now, you're not going to be able to stay there. You're going to get to a point where you're going to have to reevaluate your environment. You're going to have to look for something that is richer, that has more depth, that's going to allow you to grow. You're going to need some more space. And that can be an uncomfortable process, but it's absolutely needed if you are going to realize your full potential. Now, if you want to just stay and hang around the same people, have all the same conversations, just know that you've cut off your growth. You will have to open up your environment. You're going to have to meet some new people. You need to go some new places, have some new experiences. Why? Because that creates depth. It gives you space to grow and to move and to develop. And if you don't do it, you are going to die. That thing that is inside of you, that thing that brings you life, that dream that encourages you and that fuels you, it is going to die because you're just in the wrong environment. And so at a certain time, when you have to make that shift, go ahead and evaluate the risk that you have to take, but realize here's the risk. The risk is if you do not get out of the environment that you're in, you are now taking the risk that you're not going to grow. But if you take yourself out of this environment that you've been growing in and things look green and it looks so wonderful and you're so excited, if you take yourself out of that environment and put yourself in a new environment, then yeah, you're taking the risk to say, oh man, but this is a new spot. What if something goes wrong? Yeah, you're going to have all that stuff come back, and guess what? It's good for you. That is good for you in the process of cultivating the life that you are going for. It is good for you to be in a place of the unknown where you're taking a risk, where things are new, where experiences are new, because that will enrich you. That actually enriches your environment. That will actually feed your life because you're taking a risk. And that risk is going to cause chemical reactions within you. It's going to cause new neural pathways to fire in your mind and be formed and develop. There are going to be things that happen simply because you say, I am, and not just say it, but take action on it. I'm placing myself in a new environment. I have to take my dream to a new level, right? It's just like in the gym. When you go to the gym and you start training and you've been training for a long time and you go in and you're just pushing 1 pound, right? And when you first started, 1 pound might have felt like 1,000 pounds to you. But 2-3 years in, 6 months in, you're still pushing around 1 pound. Guess what? You're not getting stronger. You know why? Because you found a comfort zone. Because you're not taking the risk of stepping up, the risk of, oh wait, but if I go to 5 pounds, I might hurt myself. Well, I know that's the risk. The risk is when you bump up those weights, oh, you could injure yourself. But here's the other side. If you don't bump up those weights, you're injuring yourself too. You're hurting yourself because you are hurting the opportunity of having your potential be realized. You are hurting your experience in life because you're not actually stepping into this moment and finding out just how strong you are. See, when you get out of this place that is just comfortable and you step into a new place that's a challenge, what you're gonna learn is that you are stronger than you even knew. You are more capable than you even knew. You are much more of a fighter than you even knew. You have more resiliency than you even knew. Like, you're going to find out some stuff, but you will never find that out if you are only standing on the side of the pool imagining swimming. Like, as long as you just stand there like, ooh, I bet I could be a really great swimmer. As long as I stand on the side of the pool and I can see myself in the pool, I'm looking like, like an Olympian. I bet I could be an Olympian. But you're standing on the side of the pool. No, you got to get in. I bet I could be a best-selling author. Great. Have you written the book yet? Have you taken time to scratch down some of your thoughts yet? No. Well, let me just tell you, you're not going to be a best-selling author. Because in order to sell it, you're going to have to make it. So this is the time in life where this life is not this spectator sport where like we're being sold this idea that you can just watch other people all day long in the palm of your hand, right? Like, come on now, live your life. I mean, like we are not meant to just sit and be spectators of other people's lives, just sitting around imagining we were in better shape, just sitting around imagining that we had a better love life, just sitting around wishing that we started a business. Come on now. We can't. That is dying if I ever saw dying. That is dying. Sitting, watching other people live a life and then saying, I wish I could have that. Oh, now scroll again. Oh, I wish I could have that. Right? Like, let's have a hard conversation here. Your wishes are not making anything come true. Wishing doesn't happen. I know some of you love God, Jesus, everything, and you will pray and pray and pray and pray. Let me just tell you a little secret. That's not enough either. You cannot just pray and think that your life is going to be completely different. And the Bible does not support that idea. So, read through it and realize that was never the formula. It was never God's formula to say, okay, you guys just pray and that's it. Like, Mary T just wrote in the comments. It actually says in the Bible that faith without works is dead. Like, you can have all the faith you want, but if you don't do any work, that's dead. There's no life there. That's not happening. So you can pray and go. Pray and get in the process. Pray and do the work. Pray and hit the gym. Pray and kiss your spouse. Pray and talk to your children. Pray and read a book and get some instruction on how to build a house. Right? Like, you got to pray and do. It's not just praying. It's not just wishing. It's just not, meditating and trying to manifest stuff. There's an element of life where, yes, you can formulate thoughts and all that, and that's very important. There's also another level where action has to happen. There has to be action. Right? Pray for an idea, pray for wisdom, all that. I believe in all that. You have to do something. You've been given the authority, you've been given the power to operate in this world. And so when things are not happening, it's because people are not making things happen. And then we try to blame God. Like, God, no. If you're a person that reads the Bible or, doesn't mind me sharing this, even if you do mind me sharing it, I'm going to say it anyway. It's my channel. The Bible says that God created mankind, all of mankind, male and female, after his image and after his own likeness, and assigned mankind, all of mankind, the authority, the position, gave mankind the authority and position to operate and rule over this territory called Earth. It's like, hey, I'm actually going to put you there as my representative in that place. So when you hear the prayer, like, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, that's a real thing. He said, here's the plan. I'm going to assign you territory, and you will rule over that territory in such a way that that territory looks like this territory, that the territory of earth would look like the territory of heaven. And I'm assigning you to be there to do that. So relationships, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So let there be love on earth the way that it is in heaven. Let there be unity. Let there be compassion. Let there be all these things. Whatever you think is in heaven, let that be on earth as it is in heaven. And I'm putting you there to do it. And so your dreams, your goals, your ideas, your ambitions, your aspirations, they are not given to you to die inside of you. They are given to you so that you can work them out of your mind, deliver them to the earth. You have a dream inside of you that has to be discovered. Dis means not, covered means concealed. You have a dream inside of you that is to be discovered, no longer concealed, and delivered to the earth. You have to deliver it. If you don't deliver it, you're being selfish. And sometimes we're being selfish because we are like, I have low self-esteem. I'm really not that healthy. I just don't have the energy to do it. This is why we need to take a full evaluation and assessment. First of all, let's just start on the most superficial layer of our bodies and say, let me make sure that I'm doing the best of that work that I can with this body that I have, because this body that I have is covering is operating as the vehicle for the dream that is inside of me. So if I can take care of my body, if I can improve my health, if I can be faithful with my temple, then this temple that is carrying my dreams and my hopes, my aspirations and my skills and all of my potential, I'm giving all of that a better shot at making it into the world simply because I'm taking care of my body. So let's not overthink this. Step number one, let's take care of our bodies. Right? Let's think about it. What can you do to take better care of your body so that you can deliver the dream, the gift, the talent that is inside of you? All of us, doesn't matter what shape you're in right now, everybody can say, you know what? I can be healthier because there's something in me for me to deliver to the world. So let me give that thing the best possible chance by taking care of the vehicle that is conveying it from place to place. See, here's the key. The more you take care of yourself, The more you love yourself, the more you make sure that you're healthy, then you can apply that in so many different aspects of life. But you got to be willing to get out of this place, this environment where you've been, and say, you know what? It's time for me to do more. Let me not stop. Let me stop hanging around the people that are okay with me being unhealthy. How about that? How about you start looking around and you say, wait a second. I'm in pretty bad condition right now. I'm in pretty bad shape. But the people that I'm around, they've been all right with me in this bad shape, in this bad condition. Like nobody decided to say, like, hey, do you know you're killing yourself right now with the way that you are operating? Listen, I've trained a lot of people, fitness, wellness coaching, business coaching, all that. And one of the things that fascinates me is how, especially like with the ladies, and they were like, well, I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight. And I can remember sitting with a woman one time and she was just crying. Tears were streaming down her face. And she said, how come none of my friends told me? Like, how come no one would tell me that, like, that things had got so bad for me? Like, how come? Now, she was working with me, so she knows. She's like, look, she's like, I know, Brian, you'll tell me at any point. Like, yeah, I am. Because you know why? Because love does that. I'm not criticizing because obviously I'm like, look, I'm gonna tell you, but at the same time, I'm gonna help you. But I'm not about to let you, like, I'm not that friend. If you have something in your nose and we're hanging out, I'm not gonna just let it stay there because I don't want to hurt your feelings or embarrass you. That's crazy. I'm like, hey, look, you got something in your nose. You need to get that. You got something in your teeth. You got a spill on your shirt. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm looking out for you. I want you to be at your best self. I want you to be, you know, like I want to make sure you look good. Right. So no, I'm gonna tell you, like, hey, you got something in your nose. Or your breath stinks. I'm like, your breath stinks. You need something. You need to go, brush your teeth or get some gum or something. we Why do we need to be in relationships with people that are unwilling or afraid or not? We're not close enough to them for them to just flat out tell us like the truth. The truth is, girl, you killing yourself. These habits, these behaviors, you're killing yourself. What the way that you're operating, what you're eating, how you not taking care of your body, you're killing yourself. Look, why are you still with him? He is so bad for you. Like here he is punching you upside the head. Girl, I don't care. I will come get you in the middle of the night, get in my trunk, and we're gonna sneak away. We're gonna get you out of here. Like, but don't stay with him. If you're gonna die taking your best shot. Don't die with this fool that is just beating you. I don't care that he tells you he loves you. No. If you love me, you're gonna stop punching me. And because I love me, I'm not gonna stand here and let you swing on me and not another time. Right? Like we got to tell we have to develop healthier relationships, because if we're that person that's unwilling to tell somebody, we're co-signing the unhealthy behavior. Oh, it's not my business. Oh, yes, it is your business. If that is your friend, oh, that's your business. If that person has allowed you to be close enough to their life to see all that is going on, oh no, that's your business. It needs to be your business because you're close enough to them that their business is impacting your life, right? Let's think about it. It's not my business, but this person is in my life. So if something goes wrong, when this person dies, is that going to impact you? Oh yeah, because that's my friend. Well, then it's your business. No, we can't live this life where we're just, oh, I'm not going to say anything. No, love doesn't do that. Oh yes, love does. Love always protects. Like love is protective and fiercely protective. Love is a standard bearer. Love says, no, that's unacceptable. Love is at least going to bring it up. I was having a conversation with someone the other night about a situation that they're in, and I stopped and I asked him. I said, "Listen, is this behavior that you're experiencing, do you deem this to be acceptable behavior?" And the person told me, they said, "No." And I said, "Okay. You've deemed it to be unacceptable. This is unacceptable. This is not something that you desire to accept." Correct. Yes, that's right. That's right. Okay. I said, "So are you going to leave the situation?" And then the person, they thought, they pondered for a moment. Then they said, "No, not right now." And I said, "That's okay." I said, "So understand as we process this, that for this moment right now, we have to change the term and say that this behavior is something that we are going to accept for right now." Right? You might not like the behavior, but you are choosing for whatever reason to accept it right now. It's like, okay, that makes sense. And then at a certain time, you might have enough. You might, enough is enough. I'm so sick of living this life and being unhealthy and eating this junk food. This now is unacceptable. You go into your cabinet and start throwing away chips and candy or whatever it is. You're like, this is unacceptable. I'm getting rid of this stuff. Boom. What happens if they say they want a divorce and then 2 weeks later they say they want to make it work? Is that narcissistic behavior? If somebody says they want a divorce, believe them. And if 2 weeks later they say they want to make it work, tell them to prove it. Let's not over emotionalize certain things. Let's change the dynamics of that question, right? When someone says I want a divorce, let's change it, right? I'll take it for myself. I last year was not my healthiest version of myself. Wasn't training. I was like, I'm had a surgery. I'm just going to let my body be. I'm not even going to push it. I'm just going to let it be. I'm kind of maintain it. And then as I got closer to the end of the year, I said, I am divorcing this behavior. I'm divorcing this mindset. You had a year, you recovered. That's it. I'm divorcing this behavior. It's over. Right? And so when I decide that something's over, all of my behaviors and actions need to now move towards what I said. I'm done with that. I need to move in this direction. Now, if I say for 2 weeks, I'm done with that. Oh, I'm getting healthy. I'm gonna be in the best shape of my life. I'm moving this way for 2 whole weeks. And then I go back to the behavior and then I start living that way. Well, the proof is in the pudding. See, it doesn't matter which way you look at it. It's not about what we say, it's about what we do. I'm like, if you want to be divorced, bye. Go ahead, make sure you file the papers, get everything out, do it. Look, let's end it, shut it down. Let's break it all the way up. Like, let's do it. If that's what if that's what we're going to do. But we're not going to play in between two decisions. Let your yes be yes, let your no be no. Let's decide. If we're going to do it, let's go all in and get it done. If not, then let's go all in and make it work. But what we're not going to do is sit here and play back and forth, because none of us have time for all that emotional damage. So here's what we're going to do. If you're going to be healthy, be healthy. Right? If you're going to be faithful to your health and your wellness, be faithful to your health and wellness. If you're going to be faithful to what your beliefs are, your religion, your practices, be faithful to it. Don't go a little bit in and then kind of out. Be hot or cold. Just don't be medium. Be big, be small. Don't be medium. Don't be in the middle. My kids called it being Wednesday. Don't be Wednesday. Right? Like, decide. You're going to live abundantly or not? You going to heaven or you going to go to hell? If you're going to hell, go all the way with a gasoline suit on. But if you're going to heaven, go all the way for life more abundantly. Don't live in the place where you are trying to fuse together or confuse yourself with opposing thoughts and views. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be healthy. But I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do some unhealthy things too. I'm gonna have these unhealthy practices. And I'm not saying that you can't have ice cream and none of that stuff, because no, what I'm saying is there's a major difference between having some ice cream every now and then and it being something you overindulge in. There are ways to do things in proportion, in moderation, that are healthy, right? That is it can be a healthy thing to have yourself a little ice cream. You're like, ah, man, I had some. Hey, Bonnie, have yourself a little ice cream. You feeling good? But it's when you don't know how to stop scooping. I talked about myself last night. Like, if I put my hand in the chips, there was a time where I could just keep putting my hand in the chip bag, and as long as there's chips in there, I'm gonna keep pulling them out. That's an unhealthy behavior. That's not the case now. I'm like, oh, I can take 7 chips, 8, whatever. Shut it down. So you can have in moderation. You can lose weight and eat ice cream. Don't let somebody tell you, no, you got to cut out all your carbs and that ain't true. That is not true at all. Somebody's getting ready to sell you a product. I'm like, no. When you learn how to manage stuff, yeah, there's some healing that needs to go on, some metabolic, reconstruction and recalibration that needs to happen. But you can absolutely lose 100 pounds. I know this for a fact. You can lose 100 pounds and still have some of your favorite treats. I trained a woman and she lost 100 pounds. And her stipulation was, I'm going to lose 100 pounds, but I still want to be able to drink beer. I was like, all right, let's make it happen. And we did. But she also said, I'll make adjustments somewhere else. I'm not trying to have it all the way that I once did. I'm going to, I can sacrifice. I got to let something go. I'm not trying to do the same things or else I'm going to be in the same place. So what I'm going to do is I'll have this, but I'll let that go. I will make a trade. I'm not trying to have it all in this moment. No. I can make a trade. I can make some adjustments. You see, the thing is, some of us are expecting a different kind of life, but we want to do the same kind of things. Like, no, you can't. No. And then you end up losing and you're like, oh, I knew this wasn't going to work. It's not that the thing didn't work. It was that you didn't work it. This is about you. Your life is about you. Your relationships, they are about you. I understand we're in relationships with other people, but first and foremost, when you get you right, you'll show up different. But as long as you're walking around thinking like that you're not good enough, thinking that it doesn't matter what condition that you're in, as long as you're not willing to kick yourself in the butt and say, what am I doing? Destroying my body. What am I doing? There's a gift in me. For those that believe, the gift of God is in you. God's like, I put a treasure in you. I put a treasure in your vehicle of a body. And I've given you a measure of health and strength and wellness and a capacity to be able to do something. And yet you would destroy the outer layer, the vehicle, and think that something is going to happen with the gift. No, even if your gift is operating really at a high level, it could be at a higher level if you just took care of your vehicle. You're like, oh, it doesn't matter. My marriage, we have great sex life. Well, just imagine if you were healthy. It would be a greater sex life. Like, you would be working that thing out differently. Like, when you start getting healthy, strong, flexible, eating, your diet's right, helping support your testosterone levels and all kinds of stuff. When you start putting things together, you can start dreaming about, what else could I do? Just yesterday I did 2 backflips into the bed. But man, now that I'm in even better shape, what am I going to do? I might just get a flying trapeze and then dismount, whatever, right? Like, I'm being ridiculous, but I'm not. You understand what I'm saying without me being too graphic? Like, hey, start dreaming about your next level. Well, a few seconds ago, I said hi to Bonnie. Now, Bonnie and I, we lost 100 pounds together. In that process, Bonnie's life changed in a major, big time way. She started doing different things. She started going after different things. She started modeling, and she started lifting weights differently and having all kinds of adventures in her life. Hey, I want to do a mud run. And she did one of those mud runs, and we did it together as a group of us. And we did that. Why? Because her body started to say, I can do more things. I can have more adventures. Start having these goals and dreams. You're like, man, the more I take care of myself, because I'm taking care of this seed of possibility, what's happening is I have more possibilities being made available to me. Her world started opening up with all of the consistency and her dedication to what she wanted for herself. Don't you want that? Don't you want to find out what's within the seed of possibility that you are holding on to? Don't you want to experience that feeling of going through a process and then realizing, wow, I can actually do these things? I can, I can, wow, I never even imagined what it would feel like. I remember being with one of the women that I trained, and and she went to a baseball game, and she told me how she went to the baseball game, and she said for the first time, she said, I didn't have to think about like the seats. She said, I didn't think about whether or not I could fit in the seat. And I used to always think about that. Like, I don't know if I'm going to fit in this seat at the baseball game. And she went to a Phillies game and she didn't have to worry about it. She's like, it was just cool to not have to think about that. See, there are some things as you move into this next place of your life, and as your life begins to expand, there are some things that right now are on your mind. They're stressing you out. They're bothering you. They worry you when you're out in public. You're like, I don't know. I don't want to be embarrassed. A friend of mine told me the other day, she said she was in a meeting at her school, and they were in their boardroom. And she said, and we were talking about losing weight. This is the number one topic that I get, right? And she said, you know, they were getting up to leave the meeting, and the way where she was positioned, she knew she was going to have to cross behind someone's, like go behind someone's chair. And she said, you know what I want? I said, what's that? She said, I want to not think about that. I don't want to have to think, can I fit in order to get out of the room? She's like, I don't want that. Because I go deep when I'm asking, when I'm training, and like I'm doing intakes and all that. I'm like, no, what is it that you really want? Oh, I want to lose weight. Okay, why? Because I want to be healthy. Okay, great. Everybody wants to be healthy, but why? Because I want to be able to do things. Okay, like what? What do you want to be able to do? I want to be able to, like play with my kids. But why? Because it will be fun. But why? And I just keep going. But why? I just keep asking. But why? And they're like, because I don't want to be the only mom that cannot play with their kids. I had a mom tell me, she's like, I want to lose this weight. I want to change my body because I don't want my kids embarrassed when I show up to the school. I want my husband to take a second glance at me. And I feel like he doesn't do that now. See, when you find out what's real to you, what is your real reason? What is your real why for needing to change your environment? You're like, why do you want to get out of this? Why do you want to get out of this bowl and continue to grow? Because I don't want to just be a carrot top. Like, this was cool. Like, yeah, I grew. Yeah, there's some leaves. But I have some roots that I could become a carrot. I feel like this is like a kid's book. But I want to become a carrot. I want to become a full carrot, a long one that can go into the juicer, go into the refrigerator. I want to be able to feed a horse. I can't feed a horse like this. This isn't enough capacity. There's more in me than this. I have some potential. I just need to grow though. So this is Brian, the carrot now I'm talking for the carrot. The carrot is saying, Brian, you got to get me into the right environment. Come on, get me into the right environment because I want to grow. I want to see what I can become. Don't you want to be like the carrot? I do. I hope that you do. I hope that this illustration, like, I hope this forever messes with you about carrots. And I hope that whenever you cut off the top of a carrot, you think, but that carrot still has opportunity. Up until a couple weeks ago, I had never cut the top of a carrot off and then tried to regrow it. I had never done that. Sometimes most of the time I've just, hey, throw them in a bucket, give them to the horses. But now I said, no, I want to see. I want to see what happens. I'm curious. Aren't you curious about your life? Aren't you curious about what would happen if you got out of the bowl and into some good soil, into your next level soil? What does your next level soil look like? What is your next level move? What gets you from where you are into that next level? You're like, yeah, my next level is I'm going to show up again tomorrow. I'm going to do another workout tomorrow. I'm going to do another workout the day after that. That's my next level. Somebody else might be saying, I need to get a trainer. Somebody else might be saying, I need to spend more time with my wife or my husband, and we need to go to counseling. Somebody else might be saying, I need to take a day off and just have a mental wellness day. That might be your next level. Somebody might be saying, I need to actually delete some of these people out of my phone because they are unhealthy for me. They just say negative things. This man, he only reaches out to me when it's a booty call and he wants me to come over in the middle of the night, and I need to get out of this job because this person is abusing me. Whatever it is, like, what's your next level? Aren't you curious about how much you could grow? I am. I'm curious about you. As the person that's sitting here and sharing, I'm curious, like, who's in the room? Who I don't know you all intimately, but I wonder, I'm like, who's in the room? Who's in this room? Like, what is in them? What potential is in this room of people that I get an opportunity to share with? Like, I'm blessed to be able to speak with you. This is an honor. I treasure the fact that you allow me to speak to you, to share a moment with you, to share something that's inside of me with you, to hopefully activate the greatness that is within you. So I want to know what is in you. I want to be tagged and be like, hey, Brian, I've been in the room and I did the thing. I just wanted you to know because I was in the room. Look, my P.O. box is on my, what do you call them things? The bio. My P.O. box is on the bio. I want your book in the mail. Send me your book in the mail. Send me an autograph copy too. Like, I want to know that I got an autograph copy from you. Send me one of your shirts that you designed. I wear a large. Like, what is it that you do? What is it that, like, who are you? I want to know you. I want to know you. Not who you've pretended to be. I want to know who you were made to be. I want to know the greatness that is in you. I just think it's cool. I just know there's greatness in you. I would love to know that you were in the room. And you might be saying, but I'm just at the start. That's great. But just keep going so that thing that's inside of you, that dream, that hope, that aspiration, that calling, that assignment that's in you, it can be brought to life. Let it be seen. Like, I would love to see proof of it. Like, you are brilliant, but you have to allow your light to shine. Brilliance, light. And guess what? If you're in the middle, that's all right. Just don't stop there. Like, I'm in the middle of, and just stop there. Like, I'm in the middle of, and then you finish the sentence. Like, what are you in the middle of? I'm in the middle of being great. Like, I'm in the middle of my journey to greatness. I haven't fully got there. Oh, but I'm in the middle, but I'm not staying in the middle. Oh no, I'm not the middleman. No. I have somewhere to go. I'm going to the next level. There is another level. There is a higher calling. I'm not, the middle is too close to the bottom. I'm not staying in the middle. I got to go to the top, right? Like, just be convinced. Oh no, I was born for such a time as this. And it was not to just hang out in the middle, just to be a number in the crowd. Oh, no. I'm on my way to the mountaintop. So go get your mountaintop, manifest, make it happen. Go for the thing, be consistent. Take your next logical step. Make it an easy one. Like, don't overwhelm yourself. Like, oh no, I just have to be, what I would do every few days, I just add a little bit more water. I'm adding a little bit more water. And then the next step is going to be, then I'm going to take it out of this water. I'm going to put it in the soil. Then I'm going to have to learn how to care for it in a new environment. Now what happens? Take care of where you are, cultivate where you are, grow something that has been within you, grow the greatness of your life, grow in your genius. Stop talking yourself out of it. You were made for this time. Father, thank you for this day, this moment, this opportunity to be with each and every person that is here. Thank you for this opportunity to be with one another, to be enriched by each other's presence. Thank you for the gift of each person that is here and them sharing it with me. And thank you, Lord, for the opportunity for me to share something with them. This has been a beautiful exchange. Thank you for this moment. And I pray for each and every person that is here right now that they would make the environmental shift if now is such a time for them to do so. If they're in that place where they're still being enriched and they're still growing, I pray that they would just fully take in all they need to in this moment and be prepared for the environmental shift that will be coming. Help us to not get comfortable where we are and think that we could stay there forever. Help us to be aware when the shift needs to happen. And when it's time, help us to go with boldness and courage. And I pray that each and every person that is here, they would see life, they would see growth, they would see development, and they would see the transformation of their life, that they would fully realize the very best of themselves. And in doing so, that they would impact the world around them and whatever environment they were called to be in. I pray blessings upon each one as they align themselves with your will and execute on the thing that they are called to do. Help them to be unselfish with their gift, their talent, their ability, their dream, their vision. Help them to go all in. Play it big. No middle living for them. Help them to go all in, full on to the top, down, dancing on mountains. And let them enjoy the view. And I pray that it forever changes their perspective of life and they will forever ascend to higher places, pressing towards that high calling that is available to them. We thank you in advance for doing this, hearing our prayers, blessing our lives. I pray that as we go our separate ways, you would encamp angels about us, keep us safe. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you for being here. Now it's up to you. Go ahead, take action. Time to go. Time to go. Do the thing. No fear, all right? No fear. And if you have fear, take action anyway. That's the best way to overcome fear. I love you much. I'm B.A. Shepherd, 2 P's, A-R-D, reminding you to be a shepherd. The world has enough sheep. See ya.